In our previous video, we learned how Hatshepsut, the daughter, sister, wife, and mother of a pharaoh, finally rose to power and became a pharaoh herself. But at a time when only men were allowed to rule, in doing so, she had shaken Egypt and disrupted order. If she was to stay in power, she had to choose her next moves wisely. What's up guys, it's me Mr. Bradley, and today we're learning about the reign of Hatshepsut in this part 2 video. But before we begin, hit that subscribe button and get ready to do the starter questions on your screen right now. Hi there, let me introduce you to the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess of truth, balance, justice, and harmony. The very idea of Ma'at was that the people of ancient Egypt had to follow certain values, traditions, and rules to keep balance and order within their society. So unfortunately, a woman pharaoh to many of the people seemed like a disturbance to balance and order within ancient Egypt, and so was an attack against their goddess Ma'at. Thankfully though, Queen Hatshepsut was a smart ruler and had a few tricks up her sleeve. It was time for Hatshepsut to reinvent herself. Queen Hatshepsut started portraying herself as a male pharaoh and even went as far as to wear a fake beard. She changed her name to Ma'at Kari after the Egyptian goddess Ma'at. By doing this, she was reassuring the people that order and balance had been restored.
She's very clever. She make a fiction story, legend story. She make it herself. What she make? She pretend my father is Amon-Ra, is the god Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Why she make that? She want to get the trust of people. She is the daughter of Amon-Ra.
One way for pharaohs to show Ma'at, or balance and order, was to build monuments. And so Queen, or should I say now King Hatshepsut, went on to creating some of the biggest building projects that Egypt had ever seen. One of which was erecting a 100-foot tall obelisk in the Great Temple of Karnak. Another of which was Hatshepsut's famous temple, Deir al-Bahari. Let's check it out now. Now that she had earned the people's trust, it was time to do something as a pharaoh. Unlike pharaohs before her who used the armies for battles, Hatshepsut decided to use the armies to go on a quest to find new trade routes. Hatshepsut decided to send the armies south on an epic adventure to find the long-lost, forgotten land of Punt that no Egyptian had been to in hundreds of years. Exciting.
The arts is very clever how he manage or to depict it in the wall. Finished by Punt. No, she's gone to Punt, Somalia. If you see here, you can see when she started expedition, the fisher, Red Sea. Can you see the chief of Pharaoh, Somalia? He welcomed them. Can you see him? It's called Pharaoh. He welcomed the expedition. He welcomed Hatshepsut, raising his hand. And then if you follow the scenes with her officials, with her boats.
No one really knew what to expect. The land of Punt was more like a legend than something that was real. But after many days of travelling, the armies reached the Horn of Africa, where historians believed the land of Punt was. There they saw strange animals and huts on stilts. They were warmly greeted by the chief and traded many items with the people of Punt. The armies returned from the land of Punt with great treasures and riches for all of Egypt. Gold, ivory, myrrh and frankincense, which can be burnt to give off a beautiful fragrance. More importantly than the riches, new trade routes had been established between Egypt and Punt. Hatshepsut also became the first pharaoh to transport trees and plants from foreign lands into Egypt, some of which she planted outside of her own temple, the Holies of Holies.
One, this is the trees. over than 3,500 years. The roots still there.
New monuments, trade routes, great riches for all of Egypt. It seemed that the female pharaoh was actually doing a fantastic job. So why then was she almost erased completely from history 20 years after she died by her own stepson? Still to this day, this remains a little bit of a mystery, but there are many ideas as to why this happened. Some people think that her stepson was jealous that Hatshepsut was the pharaoh when he should have been the pharaoh because he was a man. Maybe this was the case, but Hatshepsut did make him the ruler of the army when she was still alive, and he never did anything to try and uprise against her, which would suggest that he was happy enough with how she was ruling at the time. What a lot of people believe, however, is that perhaps 20 years after Hatshepsut's death, the rulers of ancient Egypt decided that a memory of a female pharaoh should be erased entirely from history. It's likely that male rulers at the time felt that this upset hierarchy and society that they had created over such a long time, and that by erasing Hatshepsut completely from history, they had restored order, or ma'at, to the ancient Egyptian society. Thankfully, they didn't do a great job, and thousands of years later, Egyptologists have uncovered this incredible story, and finally, this nearly forgotten ruler is getting the recognition that she so deserves. And so we've come to the end of our video about Queen Hatshepsut. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and check out some of the other videos on my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.